Using a terminal strip mounted to the back of the panel is an acceptable method for making bypass circuit connections. Terminal strips are listed for use with solid wire and are commonly used in electrical panels. This method provides a neat and organized appearance. Butt splices listed for use with solid wire are available. They are typically insulated with heat shrink tubing or solder. Using butt splices is also an acceptable method for making the connections. However, it's important to ensure that the splices are properly crimped or soldered to meet the requirements of the specific splice type. Both methods meet the requirements of the National Electrical Code, which allows for the use of terminal strips or butt splices in electrical panels. Article 310.15b3 states that terminals for more than one conductor shall be of a type approved for the purpose and shall be suitable for the number of conductors to be connected. Article 314.16b states that butt connectors or splices listed for the purpose shall be used for splices and conductors. Based on the preference for a neat appearance and the ease of installation, using a terminal strip mounted to the back of the panel is the recommended option. It provides a secure, organized, and code-compliant method for connecting the bypass circuits. When selecting a terminal strip, ensure it is rated for the appropriate voltage and amperage for the circuit. Also, make sure the terminal strip is listed for use with solid wire, as some are only intended for stranded wire. Proper installation involves securely mounting the terminal strip to the back of the electrical panel using screws or other appropriate fasteners. Ensure that the mounting location does not interfere with any existing wiring or components within the panel. When connecting the wires to the terminal strip, strip the insulation back to the appropriate length typically indicated on the terminal strip itself. Use a screwdriver or other appropriate tool to securely tighten the terminal screws, ensuring a good electrical connection. Avoid over-tightening the screws, as this can damage the terminal strip or the wires. If using butt splices, select splices that are specifically listed for use with solid wire. These splices typically have a different internal design than those intended for stranded wire, to ensure a secure and reliable connection. Prepare the wires by stripping the insulation back to the appropriate length, as indicated by the butt splice manufacturer. Insert the wires into the butt splice and crimp them using a crimping tool designed for the specific type of butt splice being used. Ensure that the crimp is tight and secure, and that the wires are fully inserted into the splice. If using heat shrink tubing, slide the tubing over the splice before crimping, and then use a heat gun to shrink the tubing after crimping, providing insulation and protection for the splice. When working with electrical panels, it's crucial to follow all safety precautions, including disconnecting power to the panel before beginning any work. Always use appropriate personal protective equipment, such as safety glasses and gloves. If unsure about any aspect of the installation, consult a qualified electrician. Regarding the National Electrical Code, it is the definitive standard for safe electrical installations. Understanding and adhering to the relevant sections of the NEC is crucial for ensuring that electrical work is performed safely and in compliance with regulations. Article 310.15b3 is particularly relevant when dealing with terminals for multiple conductors. It emphasizes the importance of using terminals that are specifically approved for the intended purpose and are suitable for the number of conductors being connected. This helps to prevent overheating and other potential hazards. Article 314.16b focuses on the use of butt connectors and splices in conductors. It mandates that only those connectors and splices that are listed for the purpose should be used. This ensures that the connectors and splices have been tested and approved for use in electrical applications, providing a reliable and safe connection. In addition to these specific articles, other sections of the NEC may also be relevant, depending on the specific details of the installation. It's always a good idea to consult the latest edition of the NEC and any applicable local codes to ensure compliance. The choice between using terminal strips and butt splices often comes down to personal preference and the specific requirements of the installation. Terminal strips offer a neat and organized appearance, making them a popular choice for many electricians. They also allow for easy disconnection and reconnection of wires, which can be useful for troubleshooting or future modifications. But splices, on the other hand, can be more compact and may be a better choice in situations where space is limited. They also provide a very secure and reliable connection, especially when properly crimped or soldered. Ultimately, the best approach is to carefully consider the advantages and disadvantages of each method and choose the one that best meets the needs of the specific installation. Regardless of the method chosen, it's essential to use high-quality materials and follow proper installation techniques to ensure a safe and reliable electrical connection. Another important consideration is wire size. The terminal strip or butt splice must be rated for the gauge of wire being used. Using a terminal strip or butt splice that is too small for the wire can result in a loose connection, overheating, and potentially a fire hazard. Always check the manufacturer's specifications to ensure that the terminal strip or butt splice is compatible with the wire size. In addition to wire size, it's also important to consider the type of insulation on the wire. Some terminal strips and butt splices are designed for use with specific types of insulation, such as thermoplastic high heat resistant nylon or cross-linked polyethylene. Using a terminal strip or butt splice that is not compatible with the wire insulation can damage the insulation and compromise the electrical connection. Always check the manufacturer's specifications to ensure that the terminal strip or butt splice is compatible with the wire insulation. When installing terminal strips or butt splices in an electrical panel, it's important to maintain proper wire management. Wires should be neatly bundled and secured to prevent them from interfering with other components in the panel. This helps to ensure that the panel remains organized and easy to work on in the future. It's also important to label all wires and terminal strips so that they can be easily identified. This can save time and effort when troubleshooting or making modifications to the electrical system. Labels should be clear, concise, and easy to read. They should also be durable enough to withstand the conditions inside the electrical panel. Regular inspection and maintenance of electrical panels is essential for ensuring the safety and reliability of the electrical system. Panels should be inspected regularly for signs of damage, corrosion, or overheating. Loose connections should be tightened, and any damaged component should be replaced immediately. It's also important to keep the panel clean and free of debris. Dust and dirt can accumulate inside the panel and interfere with the operation of the electrical components. In addition to these practical considerations, it's also important to stay up to date on the latest electrical codes and standards. The National Electrical Code is updated every 3 years, and it's important to be aware of any changes that may affect your work. Continuing education courses and professional development opportunities can help you stay informed and maintain your skills. When working with electricity, safety should always be the top priority. Follow all safety precautions, use appropriate personal protective equipment, and never take shortcuts. If unsure about any aspect of the installation, consult a qualified electrician. A well-designed and properly installed electrical system is essential for the safe and reliable operation of any building. By following best practices and adhering to the National Electrical Code, you can help ensure that electrical systems are safe, efficient, and long-lasting. Remember to always disconnect power before working on electrical components and double-check all connections to ensure they are secure. A little extra care and attention to detail can make a big difference in the safety and reliability of an electrical installation. The NEC is a comprehensive document that covers a wide range of electrical topics. It is important to be familiar with the sections that are relevant to your work. In addition to the articles mentioned earlier, other sections that may be relevant include Article 110, which covers general requirements for electrical installations, and Article 408, which covers switchboards and panel boards. Article 110 includes requirements for working space around electrical equipment, guarding of live parts, and identification of disconnecting means. Article 408 includes requirements for the construction, installation, and wiring of switchboards and panel boards. It is also important to be aware of any local codes or regulations that may apply in your area. Local codes may be more stringent than the NEC, and it is important to comply with all applicable requirements. When selecting electrical equipment, it is important to choose products that are listed by a recognized testing laboratory such as underwriters, laboratories, or Intertech. Listed products have been tested and certified to meet safety standards. Using listed products helps to ensure that the electrical system is safe and reliable. In addition to listing, it is also important to choose products that are appropriate for the intended application. For example, when selecting a terminal strip, it is important to choose one that is rated for the appropriate voltage, amperage, and wire size. Using a terminal strip that is not rated for the application can result in a failure of the electrical system. When installing electrical equipment, it is important to follow the manufacturer's instructions. The manufacturer's instructions provide detailed information on how to install the equipment safely and correctly. Failure to follow the manufacturer's instructions can result in a failure of the electrical system or a safety hazard. After installing electrical equipment, it is important to test the installation to ensure that it is working properly. Testing can be done using a variety of tools, such as a multimeter or a circuit tester. Testing helps to identify any problems with the installation before it is put into service. Regular maintenance is essential for ensuring the long-term reliability of electrical systems. Maintenance should include inspecting the equipment for signs of damage, cleaning the equipment, and tightening any loose connections. Regular maintenance can help to prevent failures and extend the life of the electrical system. When performing electrical work, it is important to use the right tools for the job. Using the wrong tools can damage the equipment or create a safety hazard. Always use tools that are designed for electrical work and make sure that the tools are in good condition. When working with electricity, it is important to be aware of the potential hazards. Electricity can cause shocks, burns, and even death. Always take precautions to protect yourself from these hazards. These precautions include disconnecting the power before working on electrical equipment, using insulated tools, and wearing appropriate personal protective equipment. Electrical work should be performed by qualified individuals. Qualified individuals have the training and experience necessary to perform electrical work safely and correctly. If unsure about your qualifications, consult a qualified electrician. Safety is always the top priority when working with electricity. By following these guidelines, you can help ensure that electrical work is performed safely and reliably. Firstly, always disconnect the power. Secondly, use insulated tools. Thirdly, wear appropriate protective equipment. Fourthly, follow manufacturer's instructions. Fifthly, test the installation. Sixthly, perform regular maintenance. Seventhly, use listed products. Eighthly, comply with codes. Ninthly, be aware of hazards. Tenthly, get qualified help.